Absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
once
broke?
again? Come on, fighters like that always go broke.
He's always spending, so I guess.
Absolutely.
Oscar de la Hoya just shocked the world by exposing Floyd Mayweather's deepest secret. He is broke. That is right. The king of flash and money has fallen on hard times. So, how did Mayweather go from living like a billionaire to struggling for cash? Let us break it down. De la Hoya and Mayweather, the rivalry that started it all. De la Hoya has been calling Mayweather broke since 2018. Every time he says it, the paper trail behind Mayweather gets longer. It started on October 18, 2018. De la Hoya was at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles celebrating Canelo Alvarez, signing what he called the biggest sports contract in the history of any sport. A $365 million deal with Golden Boy Promotions and DAZN. Then a reporter asked him about Mayweather. That was all it took.
Another reason why he's crawled out of his rock, he needs money.
De la Hoya did not stop there.
Fighters like that always go broke.
He's always spending, so I guess.
Then he pointed at a name everyone knew.
Absolutely, look, he's not fighting anymore, so that big money's not coming in. Look at what happened to Mike Tyson. He made what, 500?
De la Hoya's point was simple.
Big earners go broke when the money stops coming in. He called Mayweather a broke fraud and told him to stay under his rock. Floyd, stay under your rock, dude. Now, this was 2018. Mayweather had officially retired in 2017 after beating Conor McGregor. The exhibitions had not fully started yet. The lawsuits had not piled up yet. The liens were not public yet. De la Hoya was throwing punches in the dark. But the thing about punches thrown in the dark is sometimes they land. To understand why De la Hoya felt entitled to say any of this, you have to go back to 2007. Because that fight is where everything between these two men begins. On May 5, 2007, De la Hoya and Mayweather shared the ring at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas in a bout built as the world awaits. The fight drew approximately 2.4 million pay-per-view buys, generating roughly $136 million in pay-per-view revenue alone. The live gate reached a then-record $19 million. Total revenue crossed $130 million. At that point, it was the most lucrative boxing match in history. De la Hoya walked away with approximately $52 million. Mayweather walked away with approximately $25 million and a split decision win that preserved his undefeated record. The judges scored it 115 to 112, 113 to 112, and 116 to 111 in Mayweather's favor. De la Hoya lost on the cards, but as the promoter, he had already won at the bank. That is the foundation of De la Hoya's attitude toward Mayweather. He sees himself as the man who built the platform. In a March 2025 appearance on a podcast, De la Hoya claimed he negotiated a 90-10 split in his favor and that before their fight, Mayweather was earning only $2 to $3 million per fight on undercards. The 2007 event, according to De la Hoya, is what turned Mayweather into Money Mayweather. There is also a rematch story that De la Hoya has never let go of. The original contract had a rematch clause.
A rematch clause in our contract. This is something I negotiated as well. We had a rematch clause. If he beats me, I get a rematch. It was a 1-year clause. Guess what he did? He retired for 1 year and won.
The retirement, De la Hoya says, was calculated. Let us just say you guys do have another fight and a rematch within that year, and he kept the commitment. The rematch never happened. And from that point on, the rivalry between these two men shifted from the ring to public statements, social media, and press conferences. De la Hoya positioned himself as the man Mayweather owed a rematch to, and the man who could see through Mayweather's money image better than anyone. That 2018 rant set the template. What came after it made that template look prophetic. And what came after it started with Mayweather's post-retirement choices De la Hoya had plenty to say about. Life is expensive. De la Hoya turns up the heat. After 2018, De la Hoya kept watching and Mayweather kept giving him material. By 2024, Mayweather was deep into the exhibition circuit. These are fights with no official record, no sanctioning body, no consequence to the undefeated record. Mayweather had done them against Logan Paul, against various influencers, and in August 2024, he stepped into the ring in Mexico City against John Gotti III. What happened next gave De la Hoya exactly the opening he needed. The bout was unsanctioned and non-scored. It ended with crowd boos and no official result. De La Hoya posted a response on Instagram on August 31, 2024. He described what he said happened inside the ring, that in the second round, Mayweather had the referee replaced because he did not like being told to stop hitting behind the head. De La Hoya said Floyd is used to having the referees do whatever he wants, and he was not getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Then he shifted his tone. What started as criticism turned into something that sounded almost like concern, but carried a very specific message buried inside it. De La Hoya said, "Floyd, you are 50 years old. You are a legend in this sport, and I have stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week, but you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard and life is expensive, but come on, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. Life is hard and life is expensive." That line became the headline. It was the clearest public statement De La Hoya had made connecting Mayweather's exhibition choices to financial pressure. He was not reading from a financial report. He was drawing a conclusion from what he saw. A 50-year-old legend doing unsanctioned exhibitions in Mexico against Gotti with crowd boos and referee disputes. To De La Hoya, the math was obvious. These exhibitions do not carry record risk. They do carry pay. And De La Hoya's argument was simple. A man who does not need money does not keep doing this. Then came 2026 and the Pacquiao situation made everything louder. A rematch between Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao was originally scheduled for September 19 in 2026 at the Sphere in Las Vegas. The dispute was about format. Mayweather reportedly wanted an exhibition. No official record, no risk to 50-0. De La Hoya responded in a widely shared clip. He said, "Fight a real fight. You are still trying to protect your zero." Then he went further. "Yes, you are 50-0 on paper, but people know you have lost." And then he pulled out the 2007 fight again. "Your own father said you lost against me." This is a reference De La Hoya has made more than once. He claims that after their 2007 fight, Mayweather's own father came to him and told him he had won.
Especially when Mayweather's father came straight at me and he goes, "Oscar..."
Whether that conversation happened exactly that way is something only the men in the room know. But De La Hoya has told the story consistently, and he keeps using it as leverage every time the rivalry flares up. The 2026 Pacquiao drama also gave De La Hoya the chance to revisit the rematch clause story. The idea that Mayweather has always found a way to avoid the fights that carry real risk while taking the money that comes with the spectacle. The exhibition format dispute over the Pacquiao rematch in De La Hoya's framing was just the latest version of the same pattern he identified in 2011. Across 2018, 2024, and 2026, De La Hoya's message has never really changed. He believes Mayweather's post-retirement choices, the exhibitions, the format negotiations, the protected matchups are driven by a need to keep money coming in without putting the undefeated record on the line. He has never produced a bank statement to prove it. But then in December 2025, someone else did the digging, and what they found was a paper trail that ran through courthouses in Nevada, Texas, and New York. What the paper trail actually shows. In December 2025, Business Insider published an investigation titled "Inside Floyd Mayweather's Lavish Debt-Filled Post-Boxing Life." The reporters reviewed hundreds of pages of public records, court filings, county property records, loan documents, tax notices, FAA records, and civil lawsuits filed across multiple jurisdictions. Every claim in the piece was tied to a verifiable public document. No anonymous sources, no leaked bank statements, just public records. And those records told a specific story. Mayweather's career produced an estimated $1.2 billion in boxing earnings. He retired in 2017 at 50-0. In 2021, he sat for an interview and made his position clear.
Suppliers sued Mayweather companies in June over what they said was $137,000 in unpaid bills, which is jet fuel for his jet. FAA records showed that a lien was placed on the aircraft for another $358,000 for maintenance work.
By 2024 and 2025, the public records showed a different picture. Loan documents filed with county recorders showed that Mayweather secured approximately $54 million in financing from a specialty lender through entities affiliated with an investment group at an interest rate of roughly 9%. Mayweather's lawyer told Business Insider the purpose was to fund other ventures.
He also faced a string of lawsuits and liens that say he owes money for a Mercedes Maybach G-Wagon. Wait, they make Maybach G-Wagons? What the fuck? Jet fuel, which obviously is for his jet, and garbage collection at his Las Vegas
The collateral package behind that loan is what stands out. It included 14 residential homes owned by Mayweather or his companies, his Las Vegas strip club known as Girl Collection, and his private Gulfstream jet. The loans were cross-collateralized, meaning they were secured by a broad pool of assets rather than individual properties.
In 2023, he settled with the IRS to pay $5.5 million in back taxes and another $1.1 in penalties, according to a settlement filed in U.S. tax.
The risk in that structure is direct. A default on any portion could trigger claims against multiple assets at once. The records did not stop at the loan. 2 commercial property foreclosures had occurred in the preceding 18 months. Public tax records for Clark County, Nevada, showed that the building housing the Girl Collection strip club faced a risk of tax sale or further foreclosure action due to more than $52,000 in unpaid property taxes and associated penalties. Then there was the mansion. A lien was placed on Mayweather's primary Las Vegas mansion in late 2025 for unpaid garbage collection services.
Dave Hall, Mayweather's accountant in early 2000, said Mayweather spent heavily without selling aside enough to pay.
Aviation records added more. A Texas-based aviation fuel supplier filed a lawsuit against Mayweather's companies in June 2025, seeking payment for approximately $137,000 in unpaid fuel bills. FAA aircraft lien records from July 2025 documented an additional $358,000 lien on the Gulfstream jet itself for maintenance and related services.
Seemed to have the guardrails that were in place. Mark Trados, a Las Vegas attorney who represented Mayweather during his professional fighting career in various business and legal matters, told the Business Insider, when you've got professionals that are doing the right thing for you, you're a little bit better protected. When you're out there on your own, your protection is...
Then there were the luxury goods disputes. A Las Vegas car dealership sued Mayweather over an alleged unpaid balance on a Mercedes Maybach G-Wagon valued at roughly $1.2 million. Mayweather countersued the dealer, claiming the vehicle was defective. Separate lawsuits from jewelry retailers accused him of failing to pay for millions of dollars worth of high-end watches and gold items. One Miami jeweler's complaint referenced Patek Philippe and Richard Mille models. And in early February 2026, a Manhattan real estate lawsuit surfaced. Court documents described a claim by the management company of a luxury duplex apartment alleging Mayweather owed more than $330,000 in back rent, plus additional damages, a total claim exceeding $515,000 when fees and interest were included. The complaint stated that payments had fallen behind starting in July 2025 on a 6-figure monthly lease. The Business Insider piece did not call Mayweather bankrupt. It described a situation of cash flow strain amid high living expenses with reliance on debt financing and exhibitions to maintain liquidity. The outlet stood by its reporting when Mayweather later filed legal action against it, noting that all information came from open court and government records accessible to any member of the public. Mayweather's response to all of this would take a different form entirely, one involving a $340 million lawsuit and a defamation filing. Mayweather fights back. Alright everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events and stories. Subscribe to Combat Motive and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.